As humans, we're taught almost from birth to be afraid of failure. As authors, we're afraid of the blank page, a rejection letter, or writing a book that nobody buys. Those are the dragons that we're supposed to slay. But what if the real monster, the one that truly terrifies most writers and keeps them from writing their best work, is the thought of actually succeeding? It sounds completely backwards, I know, but the fear of getting everything you ever wanted is a silent, creeping anxiety that can be more crippling than any failure. It's a fear that has been lingering at the edge of my mind recently now that I'm getting back into writing, so let's talk about it. I remember the first time a reader told me that they loved my first book, The Cost of Hope, and then they asked me when would the next one be available. It wasn't an earth-shattering question, and the reader was trying to give me a small piece of praise and validation, but my first feeling wasn't joy. It was this cold, sharp spike of absolute panic. My first thought was, oh crap, they're expecting me to create another book that they like just as much as this one. Unexpected pressure started to grow within me, and that feeling is the subtle beating heart of the fear of success. It's that little voice that whispers to you that you're a fluke, a fraud, or that any second someone is going to call you out. And it's more common than you think. Some of the most incredible authors with shelves that are literally bending under the weight of their bestsellers have talked about this. Maya Angelou said that even after writing 11 books, she still felt like after each new one that people would find me out. This isn't a newbie author problem, it's a human problem. It's the strange upside down terror of your dreams actually coming true. So what does this fear actually feel like? It's not as simple as being scared of a bestseller list. It's more like a tangled mess of anxieties that success threatens to set loose. First, there's the crushing weight of expectations. When you're unpublished, you're pure potential. Your book could be the next big thing, or it could be nothing. But the second that you get the first taste of success, that potential collapses. You're not aspiring anymore, you're an author. And with that title comes this heavy blanket of expectation. Your readers or your publisher and agent, if you have them, all want the next bestseller from you. And the question that echoes in your head is, can I do it again? Or was that the only good book that I had in me? The pressure to top yourself can be completely paralyzing. Then there's the fear of being seen. For most of us, writing is a deeply private, almost secret act. We pour our vulnerabilities and our weirdest thoughts onto the page. As long as it stays on our computer, we're safe. But success flips on a giant spotlight. Suddenly, your private world is being analyzed, reviewed, and sometimes ripped to shreds by total strangers on the internet. Your themes get debated, your characters get psychoanalyzed, and your personal life is suddenly interesting to people. Going from a private creator to a public figure can feel like a genuine violation, and every word that you write from then on feels like it's being created under a microscope. And maybe the sneakiest fear of them all is imposter syndrome. This is that nagging, deep down feeling that you're just not as good as everyone thinks you are. You could have published a book, glowing reviews, and actual readership, and you still feel like you're a total phony. You chalk it all up to luck or good timing. This feeling is an epidemic in the author community. The fear isn't just that your next book will fail, it's that your success will be the thing that finally exposes you as the talentless fraud that you've always secretly believed you were. So why is success scarier than failure? It makes no sense on the surface. Why would we be scared of the one thing we're working so hard for? The truth is, in a weird way, failure is emotionally safer. Failure is an event. It has a clear end. The rejection email lands in your inbox, done. The book doesn't sell, It hurts for sure, but you grieve, you learn, and your life mostly goes back to the way it was. But success isn't an event. It's a permanent change to your identity. It's not a finish line. It's a new, much higher starting line. Success changes everything. It can change your relationships, creating jealousy or just a weird distance with people who don't get your new reality. It changes your daily routine. Most of all, it yanks you out of your comfort zone. That familiar world of just trying and being anonymous is gone, replaced by this strange new landscape of deadlines, contracts, and public opinion. Our brains are wired to be anxious about the unknown, and success is one of the biggest unknowns there is. So we self-sabotage. We procrastinate on the last chapter, we miss a deadline, we find 1,000 tiny ways to pull back from the cliff's edge, all because we're terrified of what happens when we leap. And this leads to another dark side of this fear. Once you've reached a certain height, the fear of success can morph into this terror of losing it. The higher you climb, the farther you have to fall. This can make a writer desperate to protect what they've gained. And that leads to greed or selfishness. Their focus shifts from creating the greatest good to what will make the most money or keep them in the limelight. They might start compromising their creative morals to make a quick buck, or they're terrified that any misstep will send them tumbling back to the bottom. That constant pressure to simply remain successful is an anxiety that failure just doesn't have. So if you're feeling this, are you just doomed to a life of self-sabotage? No, absolutely not. The goal isn't to make the fear disappear. I can guarantee you it won't. Our aim is to learn how to look it in the eye, understand it, and keep writing anyway. Here are 3 little mindset shifts that can help. First, redefine what success means to you. So much of this fear is tied to what other people think. Getting on bestseller lists, winning awards, and getting glowing reviews. We let the outside world set the rules, and then we're terrified of breaking them. Take that power back. Sit down and write out what a successful writing life looks like to you. Is it just finishing a book that you're intensely proud of? Is it connecting with a small, passionate group of readers? Is it the simple, quiet act of showing up to the page every day? When you tie your idea of success to the things that you can control, like your effort, your artistic choices, and your own growth, you starve the fear of its power. I purchased a beautiful journal to write down my hopes, aspirations, and most importantly, what I consider enough for my author career. Having these things written down makes them more real and provides you with an opportunity to go back and remind yourself what's important when you're inevitably tempted by another shiny object. And you will be tempted. Second, reframe that fear as a good sign. That anxious, jittery feeling you get when you're about to do something big, that's not always a warning sign to retreat. Often it's a signal that you're doing something that matters. It's proof that you're pushing yourself and stepping into territory that is important to you. The most successful creators on earth feel doubt. The difference is they don't see it as proof of their inadequacy. They see it as part of the process. So when you feel it, try to reframe it. Instead of, I'm scared, so I must be a phony. Try, I'm scared, which means I'm taking a risk, and taking a risk is how I grow. And third, focus only on writing today's sentence. Fear of success is almost always about the future. You're not afraid of typing this one word. You're afraid of the book tour in a year, or the reviews for the next book. The cure for that is to bring your focus back to the present moment, right here. Don't focus on writing a novel, focus on writing one good sentence. Then write another. My personal daily word count goal is 500 words. It's small, and I can usually smash it out fairly quickly. By having this small goal, I'm not afraid of it, so I'm not afraid to sit down and write either. And the great thing is that I usually end up writing more words than that simply because I sat down. Also, don't forget to celebrate the tiny wins. Finishing a chapter, fixing a plot hole, or just getting your words in for the day. Each small victory builds a little bit of evidence for your anxious brain that says, see, you can handle this. The story that we're all told is that we should only fear failure. But this quiet, secret anxiety about success is what holds so many talented writers back. It's the fear of being seen, of being judged, of failing to live up to your own potential. But this fear isn't a life sentence. It's a sign that you're ambitious. It's a sign that you care. Don't let a phantom fear of tomorrow steal the joy of your work today. Acknowledge that fear, nod at it, and then gently turn your attention back to the page. Because the only real failure is not writing at all. I would love to hear your stories about this. Have you ever felt that fear of success in your own creative life? Let me know in the comments. Sharing these things really does help all of us feel a little less alone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more talks about the writing life. Also, I do live writing sprints on this channel, and I would love to have you join one. If you'd like to be notified when they're happening, hit the bell button. Until the next one, remember that your words show up because you do. So, happy writing.